Picture this: the smell of tenderloin being cooked inside, it seeps outdoors, and boom, the SWAT team kicks your door in, son. You are officially a meat outlaw. What am I talking about? Well, we're getting ready to get into it here on Prepper Nation. Good afternoon. Welcome to Prepper Nation. I am John, and I've had a wee bit of coffee, son. Let's get straight into it, shall we? So, the United Nations is set to introduce legislation as if they are a real country or something. They're introducing legislation, a roadmap to eating less meat worldwide, but especially in the United States of America, because they said the United States of America, this is the biggest offender of meat eating. And they're getting sick of your crap. They're getting sick of my crap, and they're ready to do something about it. The GOP chairman of the House of Agriculture has pushed back, saying the world needs farmers and ranchers far more than it does the United Nations. And I would tend to agree. In fact, I would take it a step further and say we don't need the United Nations at all. Sit back, think about it, calculate it. Coffee, calculate it for a second. What has the United Nations done for you to improve your life, to improve my life, to improve the life of the average Joe or Jane citizen in whatever country you happen to be viewing it from here this afternoon, son? What have they done to help the common person out? Because when I calculated, maybe my calculator's broken, it's been known to happen. But when I calculated, the United Nations seems to do nothing but warmonger and consolidate power and take power away from people and consolidate it in and trying to dictate how us average people live our lives like they are lords of all. So today and every Tuesday hereafter, and y'all can pick a couple of other days too, because I ain't trying to do it just one day a week. National Meat Eating Day. It's true. Or for you fancy folks, the fancy worded folks out there, Steak Tastes Good Awareness Day. Not squirrel. We just had this conversation a while ago, me and the war daddies. Not squirrel. Steak Tastes Good Awareness Day, and it's got to be well done. We had this discussion. And I was outnumbered. Let me just say I was outnumbered on that. Most people apparently don't like it well done, but I digress. So the globalist food systems roadmap is what this legislation is going to be called. So y'all can Google it if you're interested in reading the entire thing. But again, the global food systems roadmap, and they say specifically the UN, eating meat is leading to erratic weather. You got to question where you are in life if you believe that statement. All right, send this video to a liberal friend who believes that it's killing the earth. You know, they a Greta fan. They got Greta Thunberg posters on the wall or whatever. That's a scary thought, but send it out to them. Eating meat is leading to erratic weather. We're sitting here looking at weather that we've always had. We've always had tornadoes. We've always had hurricanes. We've always had blizzards. We've always had wildfires. And now they're trying to make this argument somewhere in Rainbow Land or wherever these people are coming from, usually Switzerland, right? And they're trying to make this connection in people's minds, and they're trying to make it make sense to people that when you eat meat, you are causing tornadoes and blizzards and hurricanes. Now, maybe, you know, you want to give them the fair shake here, son. You want to give them the benefit of the doubt. So I jumped on Google and I said, you know what? I'm going to be fair. I'm going to look at both sides of the argument here. Who is the biggest offender? Well, henpecking. Who is the biggest offender? Blah, 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 blah. You get the idea. The biggest offender, it turns out, those golden arches. McDonald's, or as we say here in the dirty South, parts of the dirty South, Mickey D's. They have sold over 100 billion meat something on a bun. They say 100 billion burgers sold. But I got to question this. And here's why I got to question this. The McDonald's company is a UN darling. Now you say, John, how could this be? If they're the biggest offender and they're selling more meat than anybody else, they got Food Line beat, son. They got Burger King, Dairy Queen. They got them all beat. It's supposed to be the king. You're not the king. McDonald's is the king. 100 billion sold. Again, of something, some sort of gray mystery meat. How can this be? Business for 2030 is a UN website where they list the golden child businesses. Who is doing the most to combat climate change? McDonald's is on there. So I'm asking myself, how can this be? If you're the number one offender and you're selling stuff that we are being told is killing the planet and you're selling 100 billion of them, how can you on the back end be a golden child? It's like the rules only apply to some of us, doesn't it? I mean, when you get right down to it, isn't that what all of this crazy nonsense is about? Rules for thee, but not me. People like Carrie and Greta flying around on Lear jets, telling people you need to ride in a stagecoach across country here, son. You can't even do that. I forgot. Horses are bad now, but you can't fly. Commercial flying is bad. You need to ride a bike across country, preferably an electric bike. You know, it's like the rules just apply to certain people, and those certain people always seem to be us. It always seems to be us peons, us low people on the totem pole. And then as I think about this, I realize these aren't even rules. These are merely suggestions from a fake government. The UN is not a real government. A fake government filled with vampires who meet in Switzerland. This is Soros and this is Gates sitting down, having coffee, smoking cigars, probably eating meat if you want to know the truth about it, saying, how can we screw with the little people? Because they get pleasure out of our pain. That's my 2 cents anyway. They get pleasure out of our pain. Dictators have always done this. Lords have always gotten enjoyment from leading the serfs and pushing them around, seeing how much they could get away with. How can we scam them today? You know, for most of us, we've got Roku, we've got video games, maybe board games for entertainment, some questionable stuff, maybe, I don't know. But for these people, pushing us around, agitating us, seeing how hard they can crack the whip on the little man and woman, this gives them pleasure. This is the problem. This is why I say we don't need the United Nations. You know, I'm not a fan of tactical nukes per se, but let's just say there was a chance meeting of all of these great minds and these billionaire vampires, and there just happened to be a tactical nuke there, and things just happen to happen. Uh, uh, not literally speaking, man. I'm speaking off the cuff here. You know, wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't it be something if the world didn't cleanse itself of gasoline engines or meat, but if the world cleansed itself of the United Nations? Because they're really not needed. Getting back to the GOP chairman of the House of Agriculture, we really don't need these clowns. We don't need these balding clowns telling us, these draconian rules in some kind of bad dialect, wherever they're from. We need ranchers. We need farmers. I'm not going to stop eating steaks. Eat real meat. Y'all have heard of Taco Tuesday, right? I'm about to change it. This is a momentous occasion here at Prepper Nation, son. I'm about to replace Taco Tuesday. Because Taco Tuesday is bad for you anyway. It leads to a lot of potty trips, right? We are initiating Tenderloin Tuesday here at Prepper Nation. That's right. Every Tuesday is Tenderloin Tuesday, not squirrel. Let's be clear on that. Dynamite, Tenderloin Tuesday. All right, what do y'all think about it? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. Are you going to stop eating meat? Or are you going to be like me? Are you going to eat more meat just to spit in their face? Because that's what I'm going to do, son. Y'all take care. God bless.